more game show format, more ideally not having fans come be the contestants, but having people that want to be on reality shows. Which this time around it was hard to find people to who didn't know about the show. But season 1, I think we did a pretty good job of that. But that's the impetus for it. And Jet found that document in my pile of documents and just ran with it and created the show based on that.
There was an Onion parody show on YouTube like 20 years ago called Sex House, where basically they're locked in this like Big Brother type house and it gets increasingly dark. And spoiler alert, like at the very end, they find the escape and they just lock the door and they're like, let's stay in here. And you actually, I'll just spoil one thing, you actually parallel this because one of the cast members of season 1, at one point she goes, I like it here. I don't want to leave. I like the challenges. I like learning. And she explicitly says, I like not having freedom.
Yeah, they all get Stockholm syndrome within about 5 days, surprisingly. In a short period of time, people get psychologically locked in.
I want to know how
then the fart spray comes out.
Well, I want to know what the casting process was like, if you're allowed to say.
We're gonna do like a pro casting thing next time, because this time we did Craigslist, and the fans, they kind of immediately found the Craigslist post and started flooding the casting email with auditions. So it was, I think we found maybe Shinji. We have one person who's not a fan this time around,
and still he was hooked up. He was shown the show by a fan.
Yeah.
So it was the fans were hunting us down on Craigslist. They found their way in, and once we realized that there was no way to not let them in, our way of combating that was to tell them that they were all the only fan. And the first challenge was one of the first challenges after Sam made them count rice for the second time was if you are the fan, we all told them they were the only fan, but if you get found, if you reveal that you're the fan, you're going to be eliminated. So every one of them individually thought they were being hunted by the others, so they kept it close to their chest until the grand realization that they were all fans. It was a cool moment, but going forward, we want people who are oblivious to what we're up to. It's funnier for the audience if the audience knows more than they do. That's like.
Yeah, the thing you guys did with the show, and I want to know if this is by design, is it very much feels like boiling the frog. Like at first it comes out like, okay, this is an experiment, something people are familiar with Big Brother, and it gets darker and darker and more effed up. And the thing is, at that point, there's the sunk cost, because you're like, I've been in this house for 20 days. Am I really going to quit now? And it's like, yes, you should get out. Like, it's not going to get better for you. Was that by design, or were you just like trying to amp it up as time went on?
That's intentional, but this time around, because everybody was a fan and kind of in on the joke and knew what it was going to be, we sort of had to go a little more extreme right off the bat. One of the things that's really fun about season 1 is when you watch it played back, it's very gradual, and I don't think we even turned TTS on until late
day 6 or something.
Yeah, like a little late in the game there, and they start hearing voices coming out of these speakers. So next season 3, what we're going to do is we're going to have to bite the bullet and pay like a Hollywood casting agency, like professional casting people, and really conceal the casting process so that we get more people like Dunye. Dunye's great because Dunye's he aspires to be on reality shows. He does not aspire to be on this show. Have you been watching season 2 at all?
No, I don't want to. I have not.
There's this black guy Dunye who's super loud, and he's kind of annoying, but a lot of the time he drives the he keeps the show moving when there's silence. I think it's kind of an important thing, but he's good because he wants really badly to be on a reality show. He doesn't care necessarily that he's on Fish Tank, and that's the type of people that we want for season 3, is people who are really aspire to be on a reality show, because that's who we want to punish, is people who their life goal is to be on a reality show, which is surprisingly a lot of people are like that. That's not hyperbole. That's like the way a lot of people are. Is I could be on TV one day.
Yeah. Well, I think it's kind of the whole Warhol, when Warhol started talking about how important fame is. And I think for a lot of people, they know they're never going to be a prominent actor or director or author or whatever talk show host. This is their only shot to kind of be on TV. And it's become this very weird bougie goal. And it's like, maybe this made sense in the 90s, but it's the internet now. You could have a YouTube channel, you could have whatever you want. And they really just want to be, TV stars. It's very outdated almost.
It still has cachet, even if you tell people that it's a web show and not a Hulu show. It's a show that's on the internet. It's still people are chomping at the bit for their chance to win not that much money.
One of the things that you also do, even the show is much more twisted than, let's suppose, the real world. You actually treat these people like a lot nicer. Like, you seem to actually care about your cast, and when people are like not having a good time, you're doing your best. Instead of amping it up and being like, you should go get more drunk and fight with them, you're like rooting for them and want them to be happy to succeed. Was that something, a surprise, how much sympathy you gathered for the cast as time went on?
No, I think we both are, we're not we're pretty sympathetic people. I don't think that was and the no, it felt normal getting to empathizing with the cast. We try to be good to people when we kick them off too. Like, we try to make sure everybody leaves with a couple $1,000 and isn't pissed off. I think it's bad to have people leave on a sour note unless they really fuck off early or are really just not interesting to watch. Even Brittany, who we kicked off today, was she was interesting based on how uninteresting she was. Like, I think people she was a fun focus for people's hatred because of how sort of plain Jane she was at times, and then other times like really artlessly bitchy. So we try to see the silver lining on most of these people.
I mean,
the one cast. Oh, go ahead, Jet.
I was just going to say on the empathizing thing and bringing our goal for a lot of people. We have one person on season 2, TJ. He's a young guy, showed up with like long hair, very nervous and fidgety. Like, the challenges and the things that they have to overcome lead to like character growth a lot of the times, and everyone comes in with a problem, and it's interesting to see them. The goal is to like it's a joke that people say it's like autistic kid like boot camp or like socialization camp, and that's the positive side of it, is like seeing these like poorly socialized internet people that a lot of the audience can relate to coming out being like a stronger, more confident person. The intention of a lot of the challenges is to like bring out the best of them, and it's very gratifying to see them progress in their character. That's the one thing that really gets us attached to people, just like the audience does, is like seeing someone grow and change. That's like the purpose behind some of these extreme challenges, is like, can you overcome it? The person you were on day one would not have done this. Can you jump through the hoop? Can you make it happen?
Folks, did you know that your temperature at night can have one of the greatest impacts on your sleep quality? So if you wake up too hot or too cold, I highly recommend you check out Miracle Made's bed sheets. They're inspired by NASA. They use silver-infused fabrics and make temperature-regulating bedding so you can sleep at the perfect temperature all night long. These sheets are infused with silver that helps prevent up to 99.7% bacterial growth, leaves them cleaner, fresher, 3 times longer than other sheets, no more gross odors, and they're very comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands, and feel as nice, if not nicer, than sheets used by some 5-star hotels. Stop sleeping in bacteria because it can clog your pores. It causes breakouts and acne. Sleep clean with Miracle. Go to trymiracle.com/malice to try the sheets today. And it's the new year. Whether you're buying them for yourself or as a gift for a loved one, if you order today, you can save over 40%. And if you use promo code MALICE at checkout, you get 3 free towels and save an extra 20%. They're so confident in their product, it's backed with a 30-day money-back guarantee. If you aren't 100% satisfied, full refund. Upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/malice and use code MALICE to get your free 3-piece towel set. Save over 40% off. Again, that's trymiracle.com/malice to treat yourself. Thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Folks, I want to talk to you about Bone Charge. It's a holistic wellness brand with a huge range of evidence-based products to optimize your life in every way. It's founded on science and it's inspired by nature, and all Bone Charge products adopt ancestral ways of living in our modern day world. And one of their best products is their infrared sauna blanket. How it works, it raises your heart rate to that of physical exercise, so it burns calories while you relax. You can burn up to 600 calories in just one session. It helps to flush out heavy metals and other toxins by sweating, and infrared heat and elevates your heart rate while releasing endorphins, so it can leave you feeling euphoric after your session. It's easy to set up, takes less than a minute. You can enjoy a session for 30, 40 minutes, relaxing, reading, watching TV, meditating, whatever. You'll feel less stressed, and it's a great addition to your wellness routine. Bone Charge ships worldwide in rapid time. It's made from vegan leather, free shipping on every sauna blanket, and here's the thing, 30-day trial. Easy returns and exchanges with a 12-month warranty. Here's all you got to do. Go to bonecharge.com/welcome. Use code welcome to save 50% off. That's BONCHARGE.com/welcome and use code welcome to save 15% off. Let's get back to the show. There's a really sweet moment in season 1 where you give them just a math test. And they're all really into it. They're like really studying hard. And it's just like, they're like, I want to do good on this test. And it's like, it's really kind of nice and positive. Like there's not really a payoff. I guess the person who does the worst gets kicked out, but they were really into it. I'm like, this is so wholesome. Yeah. The one person I wanted to ask about who I really kind of, and I hope, please let me know if the audience felt the same way. I really felt for is at random points you just put in these freeloaders in the house. And there's a guy named Chris, who's this young kid who's probably like 300 pounds. He looks like he's from Dungeons and Dragons. Yeah. And like he's like always like shirtless and unclothed. He is on the spectrum, as I said, homeless. And at one point, he just breaks down and he's like, Reddit has been ruining my life for 5 years. My whole family always picks on me and bullies me. You know, now I'm being clowned and bullied here. And you're like, you know, and when you brought in Frank Hassel, who that's a whole other story, Frank, who's this big troll who like just causes drama wherever he goes, he immediately had his back and was like, this is a vulnerable person. You shouldn't be making fun of him, blah, blah, blah. Was it a positive net experience for him? Did the audience feel for him like I did?
Yeah. Yeah. People love Airsoft Fatty.
Yeah.
He's coming back Saturday. He's coming back here Saturday.
He's moving in.
He's moving in, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For season 2.
Oh, that's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, see more of them.
So what was your casting criterion when you were trying to find people?
Not in like the neoliberal sense, but like literal, like diverse.
Yeah.
Diverse lifestyles, pretty even gender split, different types of people. I mean, I'll just run through I'm looking at the cams right here. We have a 5'2" guy from Japan who was a porn actor. We have an extremely nervous, fidgety, autistic kid that had hair down to his ass. We have like a Texas girl that knits. We have like this loudmouth reality star gay guy. We have a little Vietnamese guy. We have just like the more different the people are, just trying to like hit the archetypes and run down the checklist and get a wide berth of people. And we want to go for people who are kind of underrepresented in traditional reality shows. Like if you watch Survivor, it's all the entire male cast is their hair's probably down to here and they're like ripped with tribal tattoos and they're wearing pearl necklaces, or not pearl, but like
puka shell.
Yeah. It's like you see the same thing every time, but you don't see like a 350-pound like autistic kid like throwing shit at the wall and having a meltdown. So we like that more than the normal stuff that happens on reality TV.
Yeah, let's talk a bit about that, because when you lock a bunch of people in the house any house, at a certain point it's going to be like Lord of the Flies, and at a certain point, like people are flinging poo and pee everywhere. What is it on like production's end that you're like, is this good, or like do we have to put a stop to this? Because at a certain point, like there's going to be a liability issue and health is a concern.
You can go pretty far with poop and pee. I didn't see any health issues.
What about when you guys? Was that?
Seemed healthy to me.
What about when you guys decided to kick Frank out of the house?
It's a little friendly poop and pee play, Michael.
It wasn't friendly at all.
Well, that's your opinion.
That was their opinion. They were getting very violent about it almost.
A little bit of violent poop and pee play.
Never hurt anybody.
Never hurt anybody.
At one point when you guys are like, Frank, you got to get out of the house, he started getting violent and started breaking things. And he's a big dude. Was that actually something you guys started getting worried about?
Mm-hmm.
You got worried about that?
Yeah.
Okay.
A big dude's throwing shit around. He tells you he's about to get violent. Would you be worried?
Yes, of course. I'm just curious. I want to hear more what through your head and you know what the process was there.
The process was there was a big dude who was throwing handfuls of shit and piss